Yeah, hello everyone. Good evening. Can everybody hear me?
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Thanks for joining. So let's just give like maybe 5 minutes for 10, like, let's say 5 to 10 minutes for others to join and we will begin. Is that fine? Okay. Okay. All right. So we've given everyone 10 minutes to join. If you can hear me, please kindly signify with maybe saying something or giving a thumbs up. Okay. Okay. All right. So we're good. We will just begin, and I think every other person coming would, they would just join us. All right. We will begin now. But do me a favor for the next 2 3 minutes. I want you to just like maybe just type your name in the chat. You can type your name, where you're from, maybe what you currently do, and the reason why you've actually joined this product management course and what you expect, right? What are your expectations? If you were to register in our boot camp, for example, like what are your expectations? What would you like to achieve? Please just kindly share that if you can. So let me share it. Let me just show what let me share my screen so to just give you pointers to that, right? Before we begin. So this is what if you can see my screen. So your name, what country are you joining from? What city are you joining from? What do you currently do, right? You joined this free masterclass for a reason. So there's a reason why you're interested in product management. Why? If you could share that with us. And also, this is a free masterclass. We still have a boot camp. If you were to join our boot camp or you made a decision to join our boot camp, what are your expectations? What would you like to achieve? What is that one thing that when it happens, you'll be so satisfied and you'll be like, oh man, I finally got what I wanted, right? Please, if you can share that, and also just, share that in the chat, that would be very much appreciated. Okay, so I see join to gain more experience from, okay. Doze, you just told us your name. You've not given us any other insight. I mean, your name definitely, where you've joined from, and I think the one thing that is really important is what do you expect? What does fulfillment mean to you? What is that one thing that if you were to join our boot camp and you get it, you would feel so satisfied? So I love this response. I can see someone saying, and sorry, this is Olayinka, payment ops. He wants to start his, well, I wouldn't say because I'm not sure if that can also be a male or a female name, right? But the primary purpose and what fulfillment means is starting the PM journey, right? Thank you for that. So I also say on that person saying, I would love to learn how to handle stakeholders and teams, right? So, we have different audience. Some people want to start their journey. Some people want to upskill, maybe they're already skilled. They want to upskill. They want to get a certain skill. So we have different audience, and that's the reason for this question, right? Because it's just really introducing the audience. So I will allow you to do this for the next 1-2 minutes, and we would proceed.
Tunji, you're muted. You're muted in case
Oh,
things like
sorry. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, please keep it coming. Keep it coming. This is what I want. Keep it coming. So for the next 1 minute, we'll do this. But I don't know. I'm seeing like 5-6 responses, and we are like over 30 here. So please keep it coming. All right, so yeah, I see we have an implementation manager here from Ireland, wants to transition to PM role and gain more practical experience, right? So that's good. We also have Joseph trying to further understand and broaden my knowledge of project management. All right, that's solid, that's great. Oh, this is interesting. We have Beauty from Ghana, and I would like to have a professional career in PM. Solid, lovely. We have Tolu, it's a career I can pursue. I would love to get insight into what the PM is about. That's interesting. We also have, we actually have Salvador, a product manager already. He wants to learn, no, well, I would love to learn how to handle stakeholders and the team. Okay. I joined to gain more experience, and Mustafa is joining from Nigeria. Okay, okay. Then we have Tomowa. Yeah, I'm curious on what product management is about. I'm here for more insights. Thank you. So we have Nicholas, practical experience, see how implementation in the field works or happens. I would like to gain more skills and understanding of the job function. Okay, lovely. Currently, so we have, okay, I'm just going to read the outcome. So I wouldn't just currently working in the healthcare sector, but would love to transition into IT to get job offers in the sector. Definitely, that's something you can get. We also have someone joining from Canada here. That's interesting. So it's more of continuous learning from me and mastering the art of stakeholder management. I love these answers that I'm getting here today. And I think this last point really tells, even when you're skilled, learning never stops. This is not just for entry levels. Even we have people that are already product managers still joining to get more insights, get more knowledge, which is very encouraging. All right. Is there another person I would like to share before we move on to the next part of our agenda? Please share, because aside just telling me, this is also an opportunity to network. If I were to be an audience, I most likely be looking and saying, oh, who's a PM? Who can I learn from? Who's at the beginner level, for example, trying to transition into PM? Oh, can we put this together and what can we do? All right, I'm just starting out my product management. I joined to gain more insight on product management. Okay, solid. Okay, all right. What I'll do is please keep that rolling in. I'm going to proceed, but just keep that rolling in while I go to. All right. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Okay, all right. So you can see my screen. All right, so we'll begin today. Thank you for joining. So today is a product management taster session, like a one-day free masterclass. And I mean, this is the time it's going to run for. The agenda, which we started already, is the audience introduction. So we're meant to do that for 10 minutes. Then we'll talk about UStack School, talk about the vision. Why should you enroll? We have a bootcamp, so why should you enroll? There are so many bootcamps around. There's so many bootcamps. Why exactly? Why is yours different, right? We'll talk about that. Talk about the career programs. Then we will now dive into the user research session, the masterclass itself. We talk about the investment options, the investments you have to make if you're interested, the value offering. Then I think if we have time, we can take maybe a testimonial. Then we can have questions and answers also. So we've done this, but please don't stop. Keep this rolling. I'm really interested in this because the reason why I'm asking this question is because my primary role here is to ensure that you get fulfillment, right? So whatever you're trying to achieve is really, really is really, really key. And that's the reason why I would like those answers to still keep on rolling. So now let's look at U-Stack School. Just say, okay. So let's look at U-Stack School now. So, you've heard this name. For those of you that have visited the website, www.ustackschool.com, what exactly do you do, right? So U-Stack School is a global edtech career company that empowers students. For students, we focus on local and international students. Professionals also, so we have aspiring career professionals. You're just starting your career. We have junior to mid-level professionals. We also are rising to leadership, founders, entrepreneurs, right? Because we're a school and we're an edtech career company, and we also focus on immigrants, right? And we're trying to build, grow a career, and excel in a competitive global job market to secure their dreams, and live through career guidance to secure their dream jobs, right? And their dream lives. What is the expectation you have for yourself in terms of how you want to live your life through career guidance. So these are the things that we are giving: hands-on learning, support, building skills, upskilling, and career value creation. Now I'm going to touch on that last line a little bit, right? So what exactly is career value creation? We're not just training, we're trying to give value from the beginning of the chain, the value chain, which is when you know nothing, to when you know something, and even when you get to a point where you can get opportunities. We want to see how we can increase the number of opportunities available for you. So that's what I mean by value creation in any single way of what value means to you. We want to create as much value as we can for you. And a brief history actually is that U-Stack School started unofficially as an individual offering training, mentorship, and consulting to individuals and SMEs, upscaling to increase the company's overall performance. And we've trained individuals with career success stories to share. I think during COVID, we actually trained somebody in Ireland, and person got a job after, and we're a technology and business school focusing on career programs. The reason why I emphasize this is because we're not just a technology training company, right? We believe that there are so many opportunities to be available in technology as well as business. And these two key areas are focus, to us. And this is where we actually, creating our career programs in. So now, what is our vision and why should you enroll with us, our career programs? Let's just go there. So the vision we have really is to create a future where education is practical, career pathways are accessible, and every individual, regardless of their background, location, or experience, has the opportunity to thrive in the local markets. I'm going to leave we can read the slide, but I'm not going to be reading text. But what we want to ensure is that education is practical. And when I say practical, I mean hands-on. I've done a lot of training myself. I've done training 6 weeks, and after everything, 6 months down the line, I remember nothing, just because I wasn't involved in any practical, myself, right? So there's a lot of value when you do practicals, because it puts you in a position where you don't forget, you remember what you've done. Then secondly, we want to create a flexible environment, and we also want to keep, researching what's currently available in the market so that we can align with real world opportunities. We don't want to train somebody in something that, when there's no opportunity in that thing, for example, it wouldn't make so much meaning. We also want to empower with technology, right? So apart from training, what areas of technology can we power accessibility, innovation, and lifelong learning? Now, our mission is to revolutionize education, career development, and economic mobility, right? Still boils down to practical, what is accessible, future-proof learning. An example of future-proof learning would be AI, for example, right? Everybody is shouting AI, 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 But there are a lot of companies that have positioned for AI since 5 years ago, right? So they planned in a very future-proof way because they were aware of what's going to happen in the next 5 years, and they positioned for that. So that's what we mean, right? There are a lot of careers that would open up in the next 10 years, for example. How do you future-proof your learning so that when it gets to that point, you won't be a novice at that point? You would already be equipped with the skills that it takes to tap into the market opportunities at that point. Then smart career growth, job integration, provide you with the tools. We want equal opportunity and inclusive workforce development. We also want to break the systematic barriers in education and employment. Then we have knowledge barriers. We have the even job, the interview barriers. There are a lot of barriers that we want to break. And some of these things are systematic, right? So that's really, what our mission is. Before I move on to the bootcamp part, please, are we still together? Can I proceed? If you are with me, just give me a thumbs up and, just to be sure that. All right, so we are together. Thank you. So now this is our bootcamp. Our bootcamp, they are practical. They are practical, hands-on. Let me hold on. Back to the slideshow. So our bootcamp are practical, hands-on, experienced, focused. We want to equip students, professionals, and immigrants, which they are actually people we focus on with the work experience to be confident, scale interviews, and thrive in global markets. Like I said earlier, we have success stories in Ireland, and people that have been hired into jobs, changed roles, and gotten promoted, right? And thanks to definitely the team that is here that makes this happen. The value we offer, they are virtual because this is a remote training. You don't need to be on ground, so you can do it from anywhere. We also have flexible timing because we understand that some individuals are busy. Maybe you work during the week, so this is actually just during the weekend, right? So we do our trainings on Saturdays and Sundays only. And during the week, that's flexible time for you to just go through the resources on the learning management system that we would share or that we have. Now, what are some challenges and pain points that we're trying to solve for? One is building a career path. Building a career path itself is not easy. I recall when I started my career back then, no single guidance, and ideally what should take you maybe 1 year, you're taking 3 years. We're trying to solve that problem. Secondly, lack of practical skills. I've done a bootcamp before, 6 weeks, learned everything. Now I remember nothing, right? I don't want that to happen, and that's not the way we want to approach things. We want people to do things hands-on. We want people to actually pick on case studies. We want people to do breakout room sessions. We want to position them for job opportunities. We want to guide them in their career. Sometimes there are financial constraints, which we understand. And for that, we want to even offer flexible payments. Maybe flexible investments is the best word. Broaden knowledge. We want to keep up with industry trends, to do the research and let people know what's happening in the industry, which is a pain point. For the career job services like CV writing, CV optimization, LinkedIn optimization, these are some of the pain points that we want to solve for. Even branding services, we have individuals that are so good, so skilled, but maybe they're very introverted, right? They don't want to speak out on video, or they don't even want to write articles. How can we solve that problem? Which is, anyway, this is a different service, but these are some of the pain points we are offering. So even if you're an introvert, how can you, gradually build your name, create a brand for yourself, so that the skills you have will not just be with you. At least you get to network with people in the industry also with personal branding. Now, this is, so I'm going to talk, so this is Olatunji Fabere, which is me. So this is, I started User School out of the pain points. that I experienced myself, a lot of pain points actually, right? And I'm not going to read all the text that you have here, but you can read it. And, I have a passion for supporting people, professionals, and immigrants. And as a founder of User School, I've worked across different companies in Africa, the USA, Canada, UK, Italy, Asia. And I've also been lucky, I'll use the word lucky, to be a recipient of the UK Global Exceptional Talent, and also a member of First Black Professional. I think that was 2023, and also part of British Computer Society. And I have this passion for contributing to tech, which has been with me for a very long time. During my downtime, I like creating. Actually like creating. I like creating what does not exist and bringing it into existence. Reading, playing games, and this has also led me to publish a book called Daddy and Mirror, and also start a podcast, which I share once in a while whenever I'm free, for people to learn from, right? So I've been giving all these things even for free. Like my podcast, for example, is free just so people can actually learn and be better in their jobs, be better in what they are doing, right? Now, my primary goal at User School is to be a supportive career companion, from guiding career uncertainties all the way to when people are confident and they apply global knowledge and standards to tap into the industry. I'm not going to go into this so much, but this is just, I just got different screenshots to represent some of my contributions in tech, right? Over time. This is not everything, but at least taking this shows a certain parts of my contribution that kind of backs up what I've said on the previous slide. So we would move forward from here. So now our career programs, we have product management specifically. Next course should be June 7th. We also have the Scrum Master next course, but that one right now, we're actually creating a wait list. But the one started at June 7th is the product management. The others are coming soon, not right now. So we have the product management June 7th and the Scrum Master. If you're interested to join the wait list, we will share the start date for that course. Now, I've answered some of these questions before, but why User School? So we have a unique learning approach. Everybody does not learn just via videos speaking. Some people learn via audios, articles, text, Wikipedias, which is text actually, right? So we want to actually apply personalized learning styles to individuals, and that's actually come from pain points. Even I myself, sometimes I want to learn when I'm cooking. I can't watch a video at that time. I just want to listen to the audio. And we've done research. People have also shared this pain point, which is what has formed this year. We also want to focus on, solving problems, not just training, applications to real world problems. What are case studies, scenarios, workshops? How do you understand what actually happens in the industry? Not just speaking, right? Practical hands-on learning, live class. What are the industry benchmarks? We also have the scenario labs that we offer. Scenario labs is just a way that we give you the possible scenarios you would experience in the workplace and what should you do in that situation. And I was telling someone yesterday that experience in itself, right? If you think about it, the experience that you have to take has come as a result of you working in different companies, learning from different people. Now we want to take the learnings you can take from different people, the learnings you can have in different workplaces, and make it a scenario, which means we can fast track your experience. So the scenario lab in itself is there to fast track your experience, right? Networking and insights, this is coming soon, to be fair. Well, we plan to put a team in place that does primary research, where we're giving you insights on what's going to happen in the industry, what the industry is going to look like in the next 5 years, so you can start positioning yourself early enough, right? We also have the learning management system and the SaaS platform. So you can see the two coming soons there. The career SaaS platform is coming soon, but the LMS in itself is is what you would have access to. Then we also have the work experience lab. This is coming soon. But the idea is that after equipping you with the skills and you are confident yourself, then we can actually start creating project teams where you take on real world projects, and eventually we would see how we can have a virtual internship that people can can do. But currently these items are not in place yet, but they are currently like work in progress because they're coming soon. However, the review world experience from the scenario labs, which is a case study that we give, and also we still build, we do simulations, actually like a building simulation itself. So it's still like a work experience, but not as long as the work experience labs we would be. So this is an example of our LMS currently. So you can see the LMS in itself. We're not just building an LMS. We call it a career compass, which is beyond learning. It's about empowering. You learn, you are confident you're learning, right? So by the time we get to the point where we do a virtual internship, you simulate what a real job should be like, right? From there, you build capacity and you build confidence. So this is an example of our LMS. You can see videos there, you can see audios, you can see wikis, you can see slides. And you also have, practice, you do questions that build your confidence. And over time, you can, from a novice, be someone that is very much confident. So if you're someone from a background where you know nothing, you can actually get to a point where, you're actually speaking with so much confidence in product management. Now, before I move on to the user research masterclass, right, I see these questions. Does anybody have a question before I move on to that part? Does anybody have a question before I move on? Or if you want me to move on, just give it a thumbs up. Okay, I see one hand's raised. Yeah, Blessing. You should be able to speak. Can you speak? You can.
Yeah, it's actually a mistake. Sorry, good evening. It's a mistake. Sorry.
Okay. All right, so we can proceed. I don't like speaking alone, right? So if you want me to proceed to the actual masterclass, please give a thumbs up and we would go right in. Okay, so it seems like we have, would I say that's, do we have hands raised or is that a mistake? No, that's, okay, it seems like. All right, I'm not really seeing thumbs up, so can I proceed? I need to be sure that we're on the same page and I'm not just speaking to myself. Okay, so I see we have hands up, right? Okay, thank you. All right, so user research, which is the primary topic. Let's move on to what's next. Now, at the end of this is the key message for this masterclass. And this will show an example of what you would experience in one of your classes, right? I like focusing on learning outcomes, which is what should you be able to achieve at the end. So one of us, first of all, we need to start with product management. You need to understand what product management is first. Understand core responsibilities of a product manager. Confidently plan and lead user research initiatives. Understanding the research goals, scope with identified targeted users. Translate user insight into actionable product opportunities. Use qualitative and quantitative methods to validate hypotheses. And the funny thing is, as I was doing this slide, I actually realized that I know this is a free masterclass, but I feel like this is so much value, if I'm going to be very honest, because I know a couple of companies that probably would charge, or currently even charging around like $500 USD for just, or even 1,000 USD for just one particular topic. And I feel like this breaks down this topic in a very good way that, even if you're a novice or you're experienced, this is something you can hit the ground running with, right? Just have to share that for some context. Then also, one of the outcomes is that you should be able to create stakeholder-friendly deliverables that influence product direction, which is basically your reports, and also embed user-centered thinking into agile products development cycles. Now, who is this for? Aspiring product managers, you're a junior to mid product manager, you're an entrepreneur, you're a career transitioner, this session is for you. Now, before we go into user research, the reason why I'm speaking on product management itself is I need to be sure that you understand product management itself before I go into a topic in product management, right? So what is product management to you? Can we have answers in the chats? You've heard about this, like what does it mean to you? Does anybody want to try? You can just type the answers in the chats. Nobody wants to try. Let me show it again. What is product management? All right. Product manager builds product that satisfy the user's needs. Okay, that's correct. Now, who else wants to try? What is product management to you? So you've heard about product management. Product management. What is product management to you? Product management is a process of guiding a product from idea to launch or completion. Okay, yes, that's correct. Does any other person want to try? Yeah, don't be bothered if your answer is, there's no right or wrong answer, right? This question is to understand how you see product management. So there's no right or wrong answer. Product management is the process of guiding product from conception to launch. Okay. Product management is the management of a product from initiation to final stage. Okay. Thank you for that. It is collaborating with cross-functional teams. Thank you for that. That's a good solid answer. Product management means carrying the perspective of the customer, insightful, different view. Practice of guiding the product through its life cycle. Okay, different view, nice. Product management is an organization function to make a product a success, right? Solid. It is managing a product team and all stakeholders from launch to execution and continuous growth of the product. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. This is solid. Product management involves strategically overseeing a product from inception to development. Solid, right? I like the answers that I have here. So let's go directly to what it means. Thank you for all typing your answers. So when I teach, I like, especially for people that I knew, I like using analogies. So I'm going to use the ship analogy to explain what product management is. So look at it this way. You have a ship, right? You have a captain. You can see the captain on the left-hand side holding the map. You have a crew. Your crew can be made up of your engineers that would fix something, the rescue team. Then you also have a map and compass, right? The map and compass is there to give you a direction to where you're going so you don't make the wrong decision. Right? If you don't have your map, instead of going to northeast, you can end up going to southwest, which takes you totally away from the destination. Then you have the storm. For those of you that have watched movies, you know, when you're taking your ship, sometimes you can see the storm. Then you have where you're going to. So we can say, I'm taking a ship from, for example, from France to go, I'm going to Germany. So my current location is France. My destination is Germany. Then we also have the harbor, right? The harbor is more like where you your destination, but where you keep the ship for safe arrival with other ships. Now, look at it this way: the ship itself is the products that you are building, and the product here can be an iPhone, it can be a software like Instagram. That's the product you are building, right? So the ship represents the products. It has a destination. The destination is where you are going to. And that destination can be called the vision of where you are going to. Your crew is your team. Your cargo, so your cargo are the, what you put on your ship. For example, those of you that see containers on ship, right? It is the content inside the ship. So that can be referred to as maybe the features that you want to build. And your journey is definitely, where the route you're going to take to get to where you are going to, right? So now the ship's captain itself, the ship captain right here is known as a product manager. The ship captain is responsible for almost everything on the ship. They're responsible for ensuring that their crews do what they are supposed to do. They're ensuring that they look at the map so they don't take their team to the wrong place. They are responsible for ensuring that they don't drive inside the storm and everybody dies. They're responsible for knowing the start points and the destination and taking the ship to the safe harbor where they go and keep it, right? So the product manager here is like the captain of the ship, responsible for setting the course, making decisions during the voyage, which is your journey, ensuring the ship reaches its destination safely and efficiently. However, the PM doesn't own the ship, the business does. And does it build the engines? We all know the captain does not build the engine. The engine is already there, right? But the PM is the product manager here, and the captain is the person accountable to ensure that the ship gets to where it needs to go. Definitely, the captain is a leader, which means that the product manager is a leader, right? Now, the crew here refers to cross-functional teams. So when you are trying to build, for example, a software, you have different teams. You can have the person that will write code, and write code. You can have the person that would maybe design. Oh, I want this website to be yellow, pink. That's your designer. The person that will market. How are we going to get customers? All these people are your team members. They are cross-functional teams. So the same way a captain will work with the crew member is the same way a product manager will work with these team members, right? Now, the map and the compass. The map and the compass is there to give the captain insights. Go southeast, don't go southwest. Likewise, a product manager will simply use the compass and the map for the product manager's data, which means you use data to make better decisions on the problems your customers are experiencing or what is going on in the market. The storm are the challenges and the constraints. So when you're trying to do something in life, there are always challenges. You're trying to build a product. The challenges are the constraints that you experience, like maybe shift in the market. COVID, for example, is a shift in the market. Timeline changes. You want to build this feature. Your management is saying no money. Stakeholders are fighting. Your teams are fighting. All those things are conflict that you have to resolve. And that is why you're a leader. The destination is where you're going to. So you're trying to build a product, but where do you want the product to be in the next 5 years, 2 years, right? That is your vision and your goal. So you can call it your product vision and your goal. And the product manager is responsible for the product vision and goal the same way the captain is responsible for the destination where the ship is going to. Now, the captain is also responsible for taking the ship to the safe place with other ships. Likewise, a product manager is responsible for ensuring that after you have built all the nice things that you like, how do we get our final product to release to the customer's hand? The safe arrival. So that is where A product manager is also responsible for that. So in summary, this slide explains the entire picture of every single thing that product management is about and every single thing that the product manager does, right? So now let's go into specific definition. So product management is a practice of strategically driving the development, market launch, and continuous support and improvement of a company's products. Product management is the intersection of business, technology, and user experience. And if you ask yourself, what's my business? Why does it matter, right? It is important because I usually say this. The reason why product management is so important is because no company in the world today exists without a product. No company in the world today exists without a service. You must either have a product or a service for you to be a company. Without those two things, there's nothing you are doing. I mean, what are you offering to the customer? Is it that you're offering a service or a product? So definitely that is one of the key things that makes it important. And it matters because you need to align the business goals to the customer needs. The person responsible for the customer needs is the product manager. Business goal can be the CEO, but you need to ensure that whatever the CEO wants, you as a product manager, you are doing the things, you are checking what the customer needs and ensuring that you are doing the right thing. You also need to ensure that you increase the likelihood of product market fit. Product market fit here simply means that people really want what you're offering and they are willing to pay for it. That's what it means. You're driving user adoption, satisfaction, retention, and you ensure efficient use of development resources. So some examples of product-led companies, most of you know Amazon. You know, Amazon as a software. Most of you know Instagram, Facebook. We use Instagram. Instagram is a software company. We know Apple. The iPhone is a product. Instagram is a product. Instagram is a software product. Apple iPhone is the hardware product. So your product can be hardware or software, right? Spotify and Shopify are examples of software products. Now, who is a product manager? Similar to what I explained in the previous slide. A product manager is somebody responsible for defining the right product to build, rallying the team to build it, and ensuring that it delivers to customers and businesses. And these are some of the core responsibilities of a product manager, right? Strategy, you're driving the product vision, which is where you want the product to go to in 3 to 5 years or 10 years. The goals, what you want the product to achieve. The roadmap, what should you do to get there? The customer, how do you understand what the customer wants? The team, how do you ensure that you work with the team, you collaborate to build the right product? Execution, how do you specify the details of what you need to do, right? If I tell you I want to go to France, but meanwhile I want to go to Germany, obviously you take me to France. So you need to specify that you want to go to Germany, right? You don't want to make that mistake. So you need to define the right requirements, prioritize the features, do what is important, know what is not important, right? Then you also want to measure whatever cannot be measured, cannot be improved. So you want to ensure that you measure your outcomes. These are some things that the product manager does. There's some key skills, right? Is user empathy, understand the customer pain points, strategic thinking, connect your product to the business. Like I said earlier, connect what the CEO wants, what the company wants to whatever you are building as a product. Data analysis, use data to make the right decisions. Communication, align your stakeholders, tell stories right clearly. Executional excellence, prioritize well, ship fast, iterate. Collaboration, you work with different teams, you work with designers, engineers, you work with a lot of people. So as a product manager, collaboration and communication, they are really important because you actually work with a lot of people. Then what are some other skills? So these are not, well, they are important, but different, but these are other skills that you need as a PM, product manager. Analytical skills, the ability to interpret data, metrics and trend. Technical understanding, there's no need to fear because most people often say, oh, I don't know how to code. So technical understanding here is not code, but just understanding how a software is built, right? Leadership and influence. Personally, for me, I think as a product manager, by default, you're a leader because your role entails you playing some leadership roles, right? So even if you're not a leader when you start a product management journey, I feel like for you to last long in that role, you will learn how to be a leader. In your journey, you will learn how to be a leader because you need to influence people without authority, inspire vision, set priorities, manage conflicts, communication skills, write clear requirements, specifications, do presentations for your internal and external audience. The business acumen also. Every business wants money. Do you have the right price? What are the correct customer segments? How can you balance short-term wins with long-term strategy, right? Customer empathy. How do we get a deep understanding of the customer pain points? What exactly is the root cause of the customer's problem? Time management, managing backlogs. Backlogs are just the list of the features that you build for a product. Roadmap can be like your 3 to 5 year plan and different initiatives. Adaptability. You can work in an environment that changes. So as a product manager, you need to be able to adapt. Like I said earlier, collaboration is important. Sometimes your team members are fighting. What's going to happen? Conflict resolution and negotiation. You have to come and say, oh, what's happening? Okay, can we work off the issue? You need to settle conflict. So that's why I said, if you start your product manager's the journey who has not been a leader, you will learn how to be a leader on that journey. All right. Now, what are some potential career paths and average salary? So we look at that. So you can start as an associate product manager. This is like the baseline feature that price I'm using, which goes from 80K to 110K USD. And as a product manager, you can go from 110 to 140K USD. Then as a senior level, you can go from 140 to 170K USD. Then you have the principal product manager, which can be 160 to 200,000. And you eventually, the final step, which will be a director, can be as much as 180K to 300K, $100,000. So why pursue a career in product management? I won't really go into all this in details because we've spoken about it. But I'll touch on the key points. High demand and this career flexibility. For example, I know I've been a product manager for a while. Sometimes it comes with flexibility depending on the company. I don't think there's any field that really even allows you to work remote, if not tech, right? I don't think so. So working remote is even a part of the flexibility. You have high earning potential. This is the reality and it's the truth. You have high earning potential. If you future-proof your career, I don't think product management is going to go anywhere ever. And that's my opinion because no product exists without the business, without the product or service. So tell me, if you don't have a product or service or somebody who's going to manage it, you're not going to have a company, right? So global career opportunities are also there. You are gaining future-proof skills, flexible learning to fit your lifestyle. You become the architect of value. A product manager is a valuable person because you are building what is important to the company, what is making the company earn money, right? So you also have a direct impact on business growth. In some companies, you build a feature that increases revenue, or you have a say in revenue. Say, okay, do you know what? We build this feature to make this money, and I think we should build this other feature, right? If you build a feature where you came about the idea yourself, proposed and it made money, obviously everybody wants to listen to you. If you're going to say, I think we should build this because we might make money, they want to listen to you. So you have a direct impact on business growth. Constant learning and evolution, empowering leadership without bureaucracy, entrepreneurial training ground, and also you have the opportunity to also have vertical and T-shaped upskilling, right? So that would mean that as a product manager in itself, I think by default, you would have you have enough skills that position you for 2 roles. Maybe you just need to upskill, but you are strategically positioned. Now, what problem does a product manager solve? User problem, market fit problem, prioritization problem, communication alignment problem, execution problem, business problem, right? Business problem are things like how does the product contribute to revenue, which is what I said earlier. Execution problem, how do we deliver the product on time and on scope? Communication problem, is everybody aligned to the vision? Prioritization problem, what features are we building first? What can wait? Market fit problem, is the product valuable and differentiated in the markets? User problems, what are the users struggling with? Right. So now we're going to go directly to user research. Can somebody tell us what they think user research is? What do we think user research is? Does everyone want to try? Maybe just, one or two answers is fine. What do we think user research is? All right, please go ahead, Gizzy. You can speak. You can speak. Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, so I can see answers. Finding out what the customer pain points are and market size. Okay. All right, that's correct. Understanding your audience needs. Okay, I see we have another hand up. Odinaka, do you want to go?
Yes. Good evening. Okay, so user research is just basically understanding, your users' pain points, the goal they are trying to achieve, with that product, So you just or try to, speak to them, get their feedbacks, know their pain points, the needs, their goals, so that you know how best to, create that product for them that will be beneficial to them. So that's what I understand by user research. Thank you.
All right, that's correct. You're right. You're right. So thank you for that. I also see a lot of answers that we have in the chat, which is also correct. So it's good you have an understanding of user research. That makes sense. So I'm going to put this, and I'm going to put this here. So we have a use case here. So this is like by going into the practical part, we have a use case here. So we are cooking for a dinner party, right? And you are the chef. We have 4 visitors in the picture. One of them is age 85, one of them is age 36, one of them is age 9, one of them is age 6 months. Which meal are we going to cook for our visitors? Can somebody tell me? Which meal do you think we're going to cook for our visitors that would make them happy? 85 years, 136, 9 years, and 6 months. Which meal do you think we're going to cook that will make them happy? Does anybody want to try? Okay, Adeyemi, yeah. Do you want to go? You can go, Adeyemi. Oh my. Adeyemi, you have your hands up. Do you want to speak? You're free to go. Okay, I'm not sure if that is a mistake, but we have somebody said for 4.5 pounds soup. We will need to know what their preference is. We have to understand what each of them would want. Okay. All right. Adeyemi, do you want to go, or is that a mistake? Okay, Adinaka, you have your hands up. Do you want to go?
Yeah, okay. So it's basically to when you look at 6 months and 9 months, I might not specify the food, but it's something giving them something that is actually soft. And then when you look at someone also, and the age of 85 also doesn't need something hard, so he needs a light food. So but that of a 36-year-old can actually go for something kind of hard, yeah, or heavy. Yeah, let me use the word heavy.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Somebody said golden one. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I didn't know. That's fair. Golden one. Okay. Adeyemi, do you still have your hands up and do you want to go? Okay. All right, so let's go back to this, right? Somebody gave a very, very good answer there, and the answer that I saw there, which is what which ties to our topic, is we have to understand what each of them would want. Right, and that is exactly why user research is important. Understanding what people want by speaking with them. They are different individuals. So if I cook for and I go see and I give someone that is 9 months, I'm sure the child will just be like, even probably get confused because what are you giving me that I've not even eaten before, right? So now we have different personas. Okay, thank you. So now let's go dive in. So now if you're cooking for dinner, I'm just going to read the first line. You're cooking. Let's say you're inviting a group of people over dinner. You want them to enjoy the food, feel satisfied, and rave about it afterwards. You could just cook your favorite dish, or hope for the best, and hope for the best. Or you could take the smarter routes with insights to increase accuracy. So that's where user research comes in. User research is taking the smarter routes to increase the accuracy and reduce failures, right? So, and what you're doing here is you're finding out who's coming, which is where you identify the users. You're asking what they like by interviewing them or maybe doing a survey. You're testing the recipes. After they've told you, maybe you test the recipe and be like, okay, is this nice? You can even share with them before they come and say, maybe you send a small pack to them before that big day and say, oh, do you like it? And they tell you, oh, I don't like it, then it means you need to change something. Oh, I like it, then it means you're fine. And in that process, you can even use trusted recipes. Trusted recipes are like, maybe you go online and say, oh, which recipe is the best for this meal. And in doing that, it's called quantitative research, although, we're not going to go into that yet. But you're just trying to find out what other people are doing and seeing how you can learn from that, right? Then you're cooking and tasting the food along the line to be sure that you're not cooking something that is not needed or not even sweet. Then at the end of the day, let's say you've done all these things. They've tasted the food, they said it's fine. You've tasted it, it's fine. You now come for that day, and all of them are maybe eating what they've eaten before and they like it, right? The chances of them being happy in that dinner party with the food that they suggested, that you've asked them for, is higher than when you just cook any food for 4 of them and when they come. So the takeaway here is that user research ensures you are cooking something people actually want to eat, rather than just what you want to eat. It is how you go from feeding users to delighting them. So you're cooking without understanding, you don't want to cook without understanding your guests, because that's like building a product without any understanding, right? You might end up serving a steak to a table full of vegetarians. So imagine vegetarians that don't eat that, and that they come that day and you now give them. They'll tell you they don't want, which means you wasted your efforts, and also you did not please your guests because they will still be hungry. We want to avoid that, which is why user research is important. Okay, anyway, we're going to skip this part here, but this was more around me asking you the questions, that question I just asked right now to say, can you tell us what you cook for dinner party, which I've already done. And most of you already said fufu and egusi, which is the funny part. But now let's go into, we're going to have a breakout room for like 10 minutes, but let's go into like the topic. So user research is a process of understanding the behavior, needs, motivations, and experience of users through observation, feedback, and data analysis. And we talked about why user research is important already, because it ensures that the product solves a real problem. It ensures that you solve the real problem, that you cook the right food. It reduces the risks of building unwanted or confusing features. It reduces the risk of you serving steaks to people that are vegetarians. Helps prioritize features based on actual user needs. Helps you prioritize the best food based on your audience and your visitors. Improves user satisfaction and product adoption, and supports evidence-based decision making. And when do you want to do it? You can do it at any stage when you're building a product. At the beginning, when you're trying to understand what you want to even build. At the design stage, when you're trying to put some sketches to give you an idea of what you're building. Development stage, when you start building it, or even after you have finished building the product. You can do user research at any of those stages. Now, we have 2 types of research method or sources. So one is primary and one is secondary. Now, primary research involves you collecting original data directly from the source, which means you are collecting yourself directly from the source. While secondary research involves you analyzing or collecting data from that has been collected by somebody else already. So what are some examples? So you can say primary research, you collect data yourself. You do an online survey with 500 people, interview 10 people. That information is coming from you. You are getting it yourself. That's primary research. Secondary research is government stats on income, right? Now you are using the information from the statistics or maybe reports on income, but the primary person that got that resource is not you. It was the government or a researcher. So that is a third-party source. So you can look at secondary research as a third-party source, while primary research is you yourself, you are the source, right? And these are some examples of primary research. You can have surveys, questionnaires, interviews. Focus group is when you gather people together, to ask them questions, or in observations is when you just observe people's behavior pattern. Experiments and field trials are examples of primary research. Secondary research can be reports, an article, paper, a case study, which is the information was gotten by somebody else. The next thing that is also important is research data types. So research data types are the two types of data that you can get if you're doing research. You can either get a quantitative research or a qualitative research. Now, what's the difference between the two? Now, a quantitative research refers to a number, statistics, which is measurable, right? It's measurable data, right? So this quantitative on the right-hand side should actually be qualitative. So qualitative refers to words, meanings, experience for deeper insight. So whenever you're trying to get deeper information, that's when you use qualitative data type. And what I used to remember this is quality. Deeper insight is quality. Why? What is measurable is quantity. That's what I use for myself. So, so an example of qualitative is now, for example, is in-depth research with 10 users. You are getting enough information to make a decision. Why quantitative? Your data has to be measurable, 10, 20. So that's the difference. Then you have different methods here, but let's go directly to each of them. So we'll look at it. So let's see, 1 minute. Yeah. So for quantitative, when you're doing quantitative data, you are getting data that you can measure. So you can use things like surveys, and that's why people use surveys, because if I'm going to maybe, it's going to be very difficult for me to interview 1,000 people, but I can send a survey to 1,000 people and measure it to make a decision, right? So things like surveys, questionnaires, web analytics, where you have Google Analytics, right? You can easily see a number, right? You can refer to those things as quantitative. Each map is a visual representation of the user's clicks. It has a number. You can see 5 clicks. Session recordings, you can see somebody went to this button 10 times. Whatever has a number to it is quantitative research. Okay, I think the difference between this is qualitative, for example. In qualitative research, which is an example that you have here, right? You can do a user interview. So user interview, you don't really have things like 5. People are telling you all their pains. So you can actually have a long notes, right? Usability testing is you're observing how people are using the product and writing all the lessons. Contextual inquiry is you're studying users in their natural environment, maybe even in their house, where they are more comfortable on how they use the product. You can even do a field study where you go out to the real world setting to write your learnings, or a diary study where users self-report their experience, or focus group where you bring like 5 people into a room and you're speaking with them and you're writing. So in that case, there's no 10 people. So you're getting deeper insights into what the problem is. And your research outcomes, really, you're trying to understand the pain points, the user personas, the problems that they have, or the feature ideas that you can build, what improvements you can make, and maybe how you can meet the user's expectations better. Then let's look at research goals. So research goals is simply, if you want to do a research today, there's a reason why you're doing it. That reason is your goal. And some common goals would be to understand the user's needs, pain points, validate the product idea, improve usability, explore users' behavior and decision-making, identify opportunities for innovation, and benchmarking and measuring user satisfaction. So these are some of the possible goals. And what exactly is the scope? Your research can be so broad. You don't want to do everything. So you can limit your research to say, the scope of my research is to understand my audience for the dinner, right? To cook only one food. So imagine you want to cook 10 different meals. That's a different scope. So your target users can be defined in your scope. The problem you're solving can be defined in your scope. The task or the use case can actually be, cooking one meal versus 10 meals. They are two different scopes. The time frame and also even the method you want to use can be a scope. Then your research target audience. So in the similar slide that we had above, we had 4 different types of users. We had the grand, I think the granddad or the grand dad visitor. We had the lady, we had the young child, and also we had the 9-month child. So all these people are examples of target audience, right? So the people that are fit for what you're trying to do are your target audience. What are the people that would use your product? And how do you identify your target audience? What the problem you're trying to solve, the experience, will determine the people that you want to get, right? And how do you represent your users or research audience? You can represent them, what differentiates them, demographic, their behaviors, their roles, and also use cases. Use cases here would mean, how do you identify the way people use different products, right? So these are some of the things that you'd focus on if you're trying to get your target audience. So I'm going to give a quick task here, just for 10 minutes, for us to create a user research plan. And so this is an example of one. So you have a title, you're improving the onboarding for new users, and your goal is going to identify the key challenges or understand user expectations. Then what are some questions you can ask? What motivates the users to sign up? What do users get? Where do users get confused? What methodology do you want to use? You can use interview or survey, it's left to you. Your participants are your target audience. What are you targeting? Your recruitment plan is, how do you plan to get the people that you actually ask these research questions? You might already have them. If it's a new product, you might need to go and find them, right? So you actually need to ask for volunteers. And what timeline are you giving yourself to complete this? So I look at the case study here. Basically very simple, 2 companies, Airbnb and Google. Airbnb was successful because they did strong user research, and Google Wave failed because they had poor user research. So this is an example of Google Wave. They launched in 2009 by Google, all-in-one communications tool, but actually, they didn't really do enough research into who their target audience was, right? So that's actually one of the reasons why they failed. Because they launched with a very, very complex UI and a steep learning curve. It was difficult. Meanwhile, their users were not people that were very, very tech savvy, right? And or maybe let me not say tech savvy, but their users were not very comfortable with that level of complexity of the UI. And there was no clear communication of who they were trying to solve the problem for. There were also user experience issues, overwhelming interface, no clear onboarding experience or usage guidance. Users struggle to find the real world problem. And after a while, they had a lot of users at the beginning, but all of a sudden, users started leaving. And they shut down a year later. And some of these, you can see the lesson here. One of the lessons here is launching a product without understanding users' needs can lead to innovation. So you're making a lot of innovation, but nobody wants it. That was the use case of Google Wave. On the other hand, Airbnb launched in 2008 as a way to let people rent out air mattresses in their homes during their conferences, right? An online marketplace for short and long-term stay and experience in various countries and regions. The founder lived with early users, literally knocking on doors to doors. That's actually how we got customers. And they observed usage and collected direct feedback on pain points. They discovered that poor quality photos. So when they did their user research, initially Airbnb, they discovered that one of the reasons why people are not really making bookings was because of the poor quality pictures. It was actually impacting booking, but most people did not know. So research insight was that users were not booking properties and hosts were not getting reservations due to poor quality of images, amateur photos on the listing. So what they did was they started offering free professional photography to the hosts. So if you're going to host with me, we'll take a picture of your house for free. And they focus on building a trust mechanism and a simple, intuitive-based user real-world user behavior. They also improved the listing on their platform. And guess what? Now they are valued at $100 billion. But just imagine they never really got insights that picture was a big problem. They simply would have been building the best products with limited insight. And I don't think they will be where they are today without user research. So let's do this task for 10 minutes, right? It's 20 minutes, but because of time, 10 minutes. So let's conduct a brief dinner. So the same thing, a brief dinner party user research report with the same audience as the previous slide. Let's define a goal, scope, a target audience. Well, the idea was the idea here was to actually select target audience from the group that you're split into. So you can do it that way. Then just discuss in your breakout room. There's no need for you to use quantitative. Just speak, which is qualitative. So it can be user interviews. And when you come back here, just share your findings. Like, what did you learn from? Like, if you go to do a dinner party, what would you do based on your findings? So hopefully we don't hear answers like Godimon. So are you ready? Let's see. Yeah, so when we come back, is everybody still here? Okay. When we come back from the 10 minutes, I'll use the remaining session to talk about the program investments, and I also speak and introduce the facilitator and also the guest speakers, right? So let's just do this. So I'm gonna assign you, let me see. So we're gonna break it out into forums, right? So we're gonna break it out into forums. Let's see. All right, so you have the room right now.
Hi guys, I think everybody has moved to the breakout room. I think we should join the breakout room. Hi guys, I think we should join the breakout room. If you can hear me, it's at the top of our browser. Hi Rita, Praise Toyosi, Shidera. I mean everybody, we can just move to the breakout. It's at the top of our browser. If you can check the top of your browser, you click on join. We should all join the breakout room.
All right, Baladi, but I've not seen an indication for me to join.
It's at the top of our browser. If you can see. Can you see it there?
Okay, I'm trying to locate it as well. So
I'm only seeing breakout rooms and in session. I can't see anything to join.
It's showing you are invited to the
I don't
break.
have that.
Are you using your laptop or your phone?
My laptop.
I'm seeing it on my laptop. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if you found the breakout link on our browser. If you're using a Chrome browser, you should be able to find it at the top of your browser. And if you're using Edge, you should be able to find that at the top of your browser. It's saying you are invited to breakout 3. Just click on join. I'm Rita, Temidayo, Bisola, Alabi. I'm not sure if you guys can see the breakout link at the top of your browser. Just let me know if you can see it. You can confirm by answering or by. Oh, this is unbelievable. I bless. Oh, just so.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. How was it? How was the tax, first of all, before everybody comes here? I think everyone is joining back.
Awesome.
It was great, right? Did you make new friends? And did you fight with
Yeah.
me?
No, I did not. No. There's no fight. When I have my team lead, there's no. There's no fight. They
Okay.
handled everything. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's wait for the others to join back. I see people still joining back. All right. So yeah, now that everybody is here, do we want to take one team? Who's going first? Who's going first? All right, so who's going first? Just make it quick. I think we have just 20 minutes to round up.
Oyin, would you step in for us? Is that okay?
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good
Sorry, can you give
evening.
me, sorry, everybody. I think before we proceed, can you just give me 1 minute? I want to quickly show something and we'll go to take the answers and round up from there, right? Is that fine?
Yes, okay.
Yeah, because I think we have just 20 minutes. So let me quickly do this. Let me quickly do this. So can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, 1 minute. Okay, so I just want to quickly show the last part. I think this is actually the last slide that we have here. So we round up with this conversation. So currently, this is the tax. Because I know I've actually not talked about our bootcamp price, and we have just 30 minutes left. So really, I think the entire goal in itself is really to get people empowered and also join our bootcamp. And I also noticed that I don't think I've touched on that. Probably got involved in the tax myself because I joined one group also. So really, for the bootcamp packs, we have the live expert-led trainings, and the whole idea is to have concept breakdowns. Concept breakdowns is when we break down a topic. We also have different sessions, actually, something like this, which is practical. So the practical hands-on and case studies would come in. I had planned to do a breakout room and case studies in this session, but definitely I think we don't have enough time. And but that would come in. We also have real life scenarios and simulations in the training. We have interview preparations. We have a learning management system. We also have giving you scenarios of what a project looks like, CV reviews, LinkedIn optimization. We have quizzes on our elements that you can answer after each topic to learn. Then we also have the bootcamp alumni. Well, as far as you finish from here, I think you will get support for any free resources that we give to people that have trained here. You will get that. Job reference here is, I think, primarily for people in the UK, to be honest. And that would come in once we start the work experience program. You will definitely get a certificate. We are doing a lot of findings around sharing opportunities around this, sharing information around visa opportunities and access to knowledge. So currently, the prices are by the right-hand side, the right price for the training, and we're currently doing a 50% discount. So you can see what makes up the entire price: the LMS, the certificate, the optimization, and we are doing a 50% discount on the price. This course should start June 7th, and that's really like in 3-4 weeks or 3 weeks. I know it's not so far. However, I'm going to skip this part, but these opportunities that you can join this. So you can actually be technical product manager, owner, business analyst, product analyst. But one good thing we are doing right now is that you have an opportunity for every single person that has joined this masterclass right on this call You can send a message to any of these mobile here, or even to the emails here, or you could even make a payment right now if you're interested, really, right? But you have a still, which is you can take part in being the early bird special offer. So, aside the standard price is what we saw on this slide, which is the standard price that we actually offering the training for. But for those that are here, you have the opportunity to be part of the early bird, and the early bird here is $300, right? And really 300K. Well, I think that's a fair price. But we've also, I've also gotten requests around people that, I can't pay once, can I have an opportunity to pay multiple times, which is understandable. And for that, we also have a flexible payment. So the flexible payment is $350,000 and $350. You can actually pay directly to the bank accounts you see here, GT, or you can also pay to the pounds account. You can also pay to the USD account via Flutterwave. If you send a message to any of these numbers here, you can actually access a Flutterwave link to make payments. So you can see the Scrum Master program is coming up at 500. But again, our approach is that for everybody that partakes in the masterclass or pays before a certain date. So the date here is the May 31st. They have the opportunity to tap into this price and they will not have to pay. So that's actually you saving 200K, I think. That's like you saving 200K thereabouts, right? So you have one-time payments, flexible payments, and you can send. If you feel free to also take a screenshot of this if you want to, if you for your reference. Sorry, we're going to go back to that part. But every other program is this price. So you can see it's 500K and 500 USD. But register for bootcamp early and you get the early bird discounts. I'm going to do a final presentation here of the facilitators and the guest mentors. So currently, this is our facilitator. So we have Shegun Shobodu, who is a seasoned product manager with over 8 years experience. And, this is actually like a top industry, been in the industry for over 8 years. And the driving product growth strategy, and also, has grown also to even quality assurance. So he's an expert in product management and quality assurance. That's like a double-edged sword. And, Shego has played a key role as a growth product manager at Reach Out. Also led initiatives to grow users to 430,000 and 23,000 daily active users in just 9 months. Currently head of quality delivery and products quality delivery, which entails how do you build a product and also deliver a product at Opera. And in Africa, leads champions global quality standard for flagship products such as Opera Mini, Opera Browser, MiniPay, ensuring seamless performance and high user satisfaction across emerging markets. Beyond his product leadership role, Shegun actively contributes to a tech ecosystem as a product management mentor. I also know that Shegun leads a product knowledge base initiative, for example, to over 20,000 individuals. And, strategic, data-informed, user-obsessed, and Shegun brings a rare blend of technical insight and market understanding and executional excellence to every product. So one thing we also do, you also have your guest mentor, which is, this guy over here. So Olatoni Fagbore is also a seasoned product management professional, over 6 years of experience leading cross-functional teams, conceptualize, develop, launch, and scale B2B products across Asia, Middle East, Africa, North America, UK, and Europe. And he holds multiple certifications like EIPMM, Certified Product Manager, Professional Scrum Master, Professional Scrum Product Owner, British Certified IT Specialist, iOS and Android Foundations, and earned his degree in BSc Computer Science from Cover University, and began his product management journey as a consultant, helping startups define and execute a product strategy. Olatoni has served actually as a facilitator for over 3 years and trained, I'm trained and plus mentored 1,000 plus students. Beyond his expertise, published author and writer, a passionate in music, pressing, exploring DJ in his spare time, and also enjoys gaming, and also, you know, a product manager owner at Cineworld Cinemas. So basically, our guest mentors are, you know, the people that just come maybe like once, or at basically they have, you know, they teach maybe once on a key topic and they focus on practicals. You know, there's no story. It's really practical. We also have Jessica Issa, which is a product manager at Uniphonic with MBA also, who is a result-oriented product manager with proven track record of building scalable, user-centric digital products across e-commerce, SaaS, fintech, health tech, with over 5 years of experience leading cross-functional teams. She has successfully delivered a wide range of impactful products, from loyalty programs, social commerce platforms, to AI-powered chatbots automation tool. Currently at Uniphonic, a leading customer engagement platform powered by UI. She leads the development of automation platforms and conversational AI technology that enhance marketing, customer engagement experience. And our previous roles are Slide, Connected Analytics, Omnibase, eHealth for Everyone, so are driving initiatives that transform user experience, streamlined operations, and expanded product capabilities. Jessica holds a bachelor's degrees from the University of Benin and an MBA from Quantic School of Business and Technology, certified in ITIL, certified in product marketing, certified, actually just recently, certified in AI product management, alumni of Product Dive and the Product Marketing Alliance, where she advanced her expertise in product strategy, go-to-market execution and analytics, recognized for her leadership, communication, product solving skills. Jessica combines deep technical insight with strong business acumen. Just give me 5 minutes, please, and we'll go back to just reviewing the answers briefly. And we also have the last guest mentor. I mean, I feel this is so much value, to be honest. This is so much value from guest mentors. You know, one practical session, I can't even imagine like how you would really do things hands-on in that practical session. So this is Tolu Adibe, head of delivery at Core, product delivery professional with over 7 years of experience managing products and projects actually, and product delivery across different industries. Currently, he leads the product and solution delivery team at Core, where he leads the delivery of 4 specialized product lines: core banking, digital banking, automated loan delivery, agency and merchant banking solutions, and self-card vending solutions in financial technology. His diverse industry experience spans across SaaS, software as a service, fintech, edtech, logistics, identity, healthcare, and commerce, where he has made significant contributions and gathered recognition for his impactful results. Tolu has experience delivering diverse payment solutions, and one of his hallmark achievements includes managing the delivery of core banking application that has processed transaction volume of over $11.8 billion, supports over 10 million active accounts, and serves over 530 banks across Africa. Additionally, he's led the delivery of EMEA's first conventional banking agents, transforming user engagement and digital banking experience. Beyond his professional achievements, Tolu is deeply invested in the growth of others, providing mentorship and coaching to aspiring technical professionals as part of his commitment to giving back to the industry. And finally, we won't play this game today because you know, that's it. I'm not sure if Tolu was on this call. I'm not sure if he's still here, but I would go back to that. But this is still back to the special offer. And this is the last slide here, which is for you to follow us on social media. But I'll get back to this. So we go back to the topic here. So I think we can take the first team now. Who's the person going for?
Okay, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Yes, I can hear you.
Good evening.
Okay, so from our team, we have two guests. That's myself and Odinaka. Our goal is to satisfy. Sorry, please let me just get the screenshot. Okay, yes. So our goal is to satisfy our clients and make sure they have an unforgettable memory of the dinner. Then
Okay.
our target audience is male and female within the age of 25 to 45. And our scope, sorry, please, I think I lost this. Then the outcome is to make sure we create unforgettable and memorable experience for our guests.
Okay, that's the outcome, right? Okay.
Yes.
Did you pick two individuals or did you just make it general? Did you pick two individuals from your group or did you just make it?
Yeah, we picked two. So that's why I'm saying we picked myself and Odinaka.
Okay, okay. Okay, all right, thank you. I don't think, I'm not sure if I recalled you saying the meal. Did you say the meal?
Oh, the meal we one was a local dish and the other was an intercontinental dish.
Okay, okay. And what was the reason? What was the reason why you chose that?
Okay, so we did like a question asking the guests what they would like to have. So that was what they came up with. One of the guests wanted an intercontinental dish, while one wanted a local dish of eba and okra.
Okay,
It's
okay.
red wine to wash it down, or to step it down.
Sharp, sharp, sharp,
Yeah.
sharp.
Okay, okay.
Exactly, she's
Oh,
correct.
that makes sense. All right, thank you. Which group is going next? Thank you. Let me clap. Please, you can clap. So, I don't want to be the only one clapping. Which group is going next? Which group is going next? No group?
I think we should have named the groups, yeah. So
Oh, we should
kind
have.
of
Yeah, that's true. So, is that breakout room 1, 2, 3, or 4? Let's start from there. Is on there.
what were we though? I don't know if we're breakout
I think it
one.
was 1. I think it was 1.
Mhm.
Okay. Where else wants to go?
Don't be shy. Talk to us.
Just one person. Yeah.
Abiu, don't be shy. Talk now. You're not good to talk. Like for me now, my own group, I was one that suggested eba and okra with the red wine. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
I can quickly go. So I was in breakout room 2.
Okay.
Our group wasn't that interactive or chatty, but we managed through chats. And so we posed some questions about what is their preference food, which cuisine actually would they prefer for dinner. And we decided who is also going to volunteer since no one was speaking. So we had to choose a volunteer. So we were just two of us. And I don't even know if the person is a female or male now. Anyways, then we asked the male, okay, hi.
Yes.
Good, that's good. So we had a male and a female. So me and Akintomiwa, and we both went for African cuisine. And I decided to ask the question about, do you want something light or heavy for dinner? And we chose to go something light. The preferable time would be between 6 and 7 p.m. for dinner, just to have a better experience as well and go to bed light. And what was the other thing? So we did a research on Google just to see what is the light food you can prepare in Africa, especially Nigerian cuisine. So the options were pepper soup, either fish or meat. There was moi moi, there was ewa going without the oil,
Wow.
and What else was the third one? There was a rice as well with light stew, small portion of rice and then light stew. So we both decided to go for fish. And there was grilled fish as well with veggies. So I chose the grilled fish with veggies, while Akintomiwa chose pepper soup with fish. And yeah, so that was the outcome of our conversation.
Sharp.
Okay, that's solid. That's solid. That makes sense. I see that makes sense. I see this is 8:05, so I'm going to be rounding up in the next 10 minutes. Who is going next? Thank you. That was spot on. First of all, did you enjoy your interaction?
For us, I think we did. I'd like to speak. Anyone second in the motion?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes, we did. We had a good time.
Okay. All right, who's going next? I think we'll just take one more team and we can round up.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm from Breakout 3. Although like we did not really conclude on, but we chose 2 people. We asked 2 people questions. The first one wanted to look at the scope. So I asked the kind of food she would prefer. She said she wants intercontinental dishes. And then I asked her the kind of like ambience she also would like want. She wants a quiet indoor space, and then like the activities too that will be involved during the dinner. She also said just a slow music, something like that.
Oh, nice.
So the second person, we didn't get the other person didn't get the question, so we're still like talking about it before you came in and all. So that's basically what's like.
Okay, all right, thank you. I think the part I like there is the music, because I never would have thought about music as part of dinner, really. I think so that's a use case of how Airbnb discovered photography was a problem. And in this case, music could actually have just been a problem, because you could have created all the meals possible and somebody's just waiting for one nice the music there. Is there any other group that wants to go? If there's no group, I will just proceed. Is there any other group? Okay, so I think that's it. If there's no other group that wants to go, just to round up this, I've shared the Trustpilot link in the chats. So basically, if you feel like you experience if you really like your experience, please drop us a rating. This is really going to help us. So you can see the Trustpilot link in the chats. Let me just put it here again for us to use. Let me see. Yeah, and to round this class up today, please let's get a vote. Let's get a vote if you really enjoy the class. A thumbs up or a thumbs down, which is actually the rating. Don't let the DMS see you have your hands up.
Would it also be okay to drop your LinkedIn for even the guest facilitators? I don't know if that's okay, or if that's
I don't think it's part of the slide here. But I think if you probably send a message to the phone numbers there, we can share that. But it's not the LinkedIn. We didn't have the links to the slide here.
Okay.
So before we go, I think I'm going to spend 2 minutes just before to allow the facilitator to say something. So Shegun, do you want to take? Not sure if do you want to take maybe like 1 minute, 2 minutes to say something? Not sure if, let me see. Okay, I'm not sure if Shago is on this call. So let's see. Let me see. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I think the final part of the class really is here. So I'll be looking forward. How many of you? First of all, how many of you are going to join? How many of you are going to join today? How many of you are going to join the program today? Because we're actually waiting for you to join. How many of you are going to join today? Let me see. or soon. Okay, so let's try to join again. How many of you like the experience and you feel like, oh, you're gonna join a boot camp, because it's something that you feel you benefit from? Yeah, I can see a message there. Yeah, I would let me see. Yeah, I will just touch I will touch on that to round up. I'm trying to maximize the 8 minutes that we have for multiple things. So let me see. Shagun, I don't know if you're back. Okay, John, if you can, if you can, if you're back and you want to speak, just let me know, and I'll proceed from that. So this is it. 1 minute. Then I think the last part here, I'm going to go to the presentation, but I think the last part here is I plan to actually do a session where we actually played games, but I don't think we'll do that because of time. I don't think we'll do that because of time. Let me see. So based on just my feedback to your presentations, really, based on the chat, I think based on the presentation that has been done here so far, it's in the right direction. However, I mean, because there's a time constraint, I think in an ideal scenario where we have enough time, right? Like maybe enough time to really do go into depth into the teaching. Because I also went, I tried to go in depth, which I did today, but enough time to go into the details of presenting an actual report, which is like a Google Docs or a PDF, right? I think in that case, then a lot more details and insights I would be expecting beyond what has been said. But what has been said is like really the structure, the audience, the age, that's the structure. But when I do research, I expect more details. So that's the only difference, right? So we've all done very well with the limited time we had, and also with the fact that this is a free masterclass. It's just 2 hours, and we've done so much in these 2 hours, right? So that's the best feedback I'll give. Great work and good feedback for everybody that's done. And also, please interact, because I joined some groups and people are not really speaking. Please, I know this is new and people are different. Like I can join a group, I don't know anybody and talk, yes. But that's also part of the experience, right? You're not just learning about product management, you're also improving your personality, you're improving your communication, you're improving your collaboration. It's not just about the training, right? So that's what I would say. I don't think Shegu can speak, but I'm going to round up with this part here. 1 minute. The funny thing is that because I'm a guest mentor that would just maybe take a practical session, I really had like a lot to give. I can't give everything here, to be fair, but this is a case study I prepared. Can everybody see this case study? If you can see it, just give me a thumbs up.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a case study I prepared to share, and we also do a breakout room, but again, time is a factor here. You can go to our website. This is our website, www.ustackschool.com. And if you go to our website, you can, maybe you can actually book no, okay, this is not, if you go to book a call, actually, like from tomorrow, you should be able to book a call here to speak with the program manager. And if you go to our product management itself, so this is product management curriculum. This is what you can get more details. Let me share this in the chats. This is program management curriculum that we have. So all the details that you need, you will find it here. You will find more details about what you're going to learn, the curriculum, how it works, portfolio examples. Your instructors are here already. You can see Shegun, Ola, Jessica, and Tolu. And basically, you should also be able to pay. I think you should be able to pay right now. I think so. Okay, this is not here, but you should be able to pay probably also by tomorrow, by Monday rather, via Flutterwave if you've made your decision. But you can get all the information that you need directly from the site. And I also plan to take the case study answers, but again, not time. So I think time is the barrier here. And you can see I actually had prepared the interaction session. But again, we've done so much in 2 hours, but ideally, I think this will actually be the class, the experience we would get. from a practical class. I mean, this is actually like my own practical class. I'm a guest mentor. This is my practical class, and this will probably be a similar experience, but focusing more on the teaching rather than me speaking about other things. But this is a free master class, like I've said. So please drop a rating for us, and also send a message to this. You can take a screenshot of this. You can take a screenshot of this page, send a message to these mobile numbers, or you can access us on social media. You can follow us at Ustack School, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Ustack School. Email hello@ustackschool.com, and you can see the mobile here, and you can see the limited. So basically, we have this price fixed till May 31st, and from that, it reverts back to the original price. So thank you for joining today's session, and I'll be looking forward to having most of you in our bootcamp. So are there any questions before we call it a day?
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Please, I would just like to know what's the difference between a product manager and a product owner?
Okay. I think the difference between a product manager and a product owner varies in different companies. In some firms that are traditional, you have only the role of a product manager, right? And that person can do everything. If you also have a software that is not so complicated, you can have just a product manager. In some firms that follow Scrum, which is where a product owner comes from, they might decide to split a product manager and a product owner, right? The product manager focuses more on strategy, the vision, the business side. The product owner focuses more on execution, right? So you can have firms that use Scrum and separate it for that reason. Or you could also have firms that they work on software that are so complicated and so many moving parts that one person cannot manage everything. And that's the reason why they want the two parts. In some startups, maybe in Nigeria, you have one person as a product manager. The person is doing everything: product execution, product strategy. So hope that clarifies and answers your question.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to be calling it a day for now. I think we spent 2 hours, 17 minutes. And I think personally for me, it was also an interesting class for me. So thank you very much. And looking forward to seeing you in the bootcamp. Don't forget to drop your reviews for us on Trustpilot, please. Looking forward to your reviews also. Thank you.
I think there's some messages in the chat though. I don't know, you might want to look through something.
Let me see. Kindly, I think what's going to happen is I think this video should be on YouTube by next week. So you can probably check there and access it. I don't want to go back into the slides because I think we spent more than 2 hours already, which is beyond the time that we have planned for this session. But again, I think it's an interesting conversation, interesting session, but we don't want to make it go into 3 hours, right? So, you can just go to the YouTube channel, the social handles basically, to access the same information there. So thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you at the bootcamp.
Alrighty. Thank you guys. It's nice meeting you all.
All right, thank you.
You on the other side. All right, bye for now.
Okay.